Welcome back, Husker Nation. Hope you guys are having a good week. Kansas City got blasted with a major thunderstorm, heavy hail. My car got a bunch of dents. Got to get that fixed. So I hope your guys' weather's better than here in KC. I want to do something a little fun today. I know the Big Ten tournament has already started, but I went ahead and filled out the whole bracket, my predictions, everything like that before it started. And I want to go through and share my predictions with you guys. So here's the bracket. I got both first round games correct and the second round game between Iowa and Maryland. But I picked Maryland over Oregon. That happened. I picked Northwestern over Penn State, which also happened. And then I picked Iowa to beat Maryland, which just finished. Iowa did beat Maryland. Next up, we got USC Washington. I'm taking the Huskies in that one. Then Northwestern Indiana. I'm taking the Hoosiers to beat the Wildcats. Then Rutgers Minnesota, the final game today. I'm taking the Gophers. Cade Tyson's a stud. So moving to Thursday. So Iowa, Ohio State. This is a great matchup, but I'm picking the Hawkeyes. I think they're going to make a pretty good run in this tournament. I think they're a great basketball team. I think the defense will play the difference. I think Iowa's going to force a lot of turnovers and make life uncomfortable for Bruce Thornton. Washington, Wisconsin. I'm going to take the Badgers. I think the Badgers are one of the hottest teams in the conference. Nick Boyd is a stud. I think they've improved big time since Nebraska first played them earlier in the season. So I'm taking Wisconsin. And then Indiana, Purdue. I got to take the Boilermakers. They had a bad finish to the season. They're hungry. They're just a 7 seed. They're going to be angry about that. I think Purdue wins that one. And then UCLA, Minnesota. UCLA, we know how good they are. We know their three-point shooting is elite. They're not playing at home, though. But I do think they have enough firepower offensively. Tyler Bilodeau, Donovan Dent, I think they'll take care of Minnesota. So moving to Friday, where the top 4 seeds enter. So you've got Michigan, Illinois, Nebraska, Michigan State finally playing. So we started off with Iowa, Michigan. Iowa makes a good run, but it ends this game. Michigan is too talented top to bottom. They win that one. And then I'm picking the upset. Wisconsin, Illinois, classic Big Ten matchup. Got to go with the Badgers. I think they're going to upset the Illini and move to the semifinals. Then Purdue, Nebraska. This one's big for Husker fans. Our first game is not easy. A rematch against Purdue. They beat us in overtime at Pinnacle Bank Arena. It was a hell of a game, a phenomenal comeback by Nebraska in the end of that game. I think the Huskers have something to prove. We haven't had any really big wins in a while. I think we're going to get it done. We're going to pull the upset, beat Purdue on a neutral court. There's going to be a ton of Husker fans there. I see us getting back to our old ways, shooting the basketball. And I think our defense is once again going to play a big factor, forcing turnovers, scoring points in transition. I think we beat Purdue. Then UCLA, Michigan State, another great matchup. I got to take Sparty. Just because of their experience in tournaments. They're a blue blood. Tom Izzo's a phenomenal coach. They're physical. They play great defense. I see them beating UCLA. So the semifinal matchups, I've got Michigan, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan State. So Michigan, Wisconsin. Michigan's going to win that game. It could be a really close game, but again, Michigan's just so much depth. I mean, they had like 3 guys on the All Big Ten defensive team. Yaxel Lindeborg was the player of the year. They've got the All Big Ten defensive player of the year in Adai Mara. They've got an all-freshman player in Trey McKinney. They're just too talented. So Michigan will beat Wisconsin, and then Nebraska, Michigan State. I hate to do this, but I'm taking Sparty to get revenge. Nebraska beat them in Lincoln 58-56 earlier in the year. I think Michigan State has a lot to prove. I think they want to get a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. I think they beat Nebraska. So the championship round, Michigan, Michigan State, rivals. And this is where it may surprise people. I'm picking Sparty to upset Michigan and become Big Ten champions for 2026. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. What are your picks? Who do you have winning it all? What are your surprise picks? Let me know in the comments. I also wanted to talk quickly. The All Big Ten team was released. Nebraska had a lot of players get recognized. So Bryce Sanford, Was the first team All Big Ten, voted on by the coaches. I've actually got a graphic I'll pull up. There we go. So you see All Big Ten first team. Price Sanford, voted by the coaches, was first team. And to me, that's better than the media. The coaches is more important to me than the media because they're facing these guys, preparing to play all these guys. I think that's the most accurate. So love to see Sanford get recognized. He also was a second team All Big Ten, voted on by the media. Okay. And then Braden Frager, All Big Ten sixth man of the year. Love to see him get recognized. The redshirt freshman was a big contributor this season. I don't think anyone expected him to put up the points and the totals that he did. His explosiveness, his athleticism, his ability to dunk, his ability to hit three-point shots when we needed it. He was big. Love to see him get credit there. And then Rank Mast and Sam Hoiberg were both honorable mention All Big Ten. I know we had hopes for Rank Mast to potentially be first or second team earlier in the season. He dropped off a bit, but it's good to see them both get recognized. Then Sam Hoiberg also made the all-defensive team, which is well-deserved. In my opinion, he's the best defender in the Big Ten. So a lot of accolades for Nebraska basketball. Fred Hoiberg, also the biggest one probably, Big Ten Coach of the Year. Congrats to Fred Hoiberg. Another well-deserved honor there. Had a great season, best season historically in Nebraska basketball. The last 3 years, he's done a great job turning this program around. We gave him an extension through 2031. He got a big pay raise. So congrats, Fred Hoiberg. It's good to see him get that honor. All right, next up, Husker baseball. So they've won 5 straight, guys. Husker baseball is hot right now. They are 10-5 on the season. We swept Michigan State last week. Today they play North Dakota State at home at 4 o'clock Central. Dylan Carey is an absolute beast, batting .456, 23 ribbies, and 5 home runs. This kid is unbelievable. Likely will get all Big Ten honors once the season's done. So hopefully Nebraska can keep up the hot streak. I'll make sure to keep providing updates on them as the season progresses. All right, last thing I wanted to get into, I've strayed away from Husker football as long as I can, but they put out a sprint, like an 18-minute spring practice video the other day. I took some notes, wanted to share my thoughts, just getting a quick, look at some of the players during drills. So, Quasi Gilmer, he's number 11. He looks the part, man. Big, athletic. He goes first in every drill. He's putting in work quietly. I like what I see from this kid. I think he could potentially be our number 1 receiver. I know we got Ja'Cory Barney back. We got Isaiah Hunter back. But you can tell a lot, just watching these drills. This is why a lot of the reporters and writers for Nebraska wish they could go to practices like they used to be. But they don't allow media in at practice anymore. So it was really cool to see this clip, watch them go through drills. I know it's just on air and against pads, and it's way different once they're going against real guys. But you can tell a lot by watching these kids during drills. Quasi Gilmer goes first in every drill. The way he carries himself, he's a leader. He seems like wide receiver number 1 to me. Anthony Colandrea, likely going to be our starting quarterback. He's the smallest quarterback by stature, by far, which I don't, put a lot into that. It was just an observation. He is little. However, this kid's got swagger that the others don't. The way he carries himself, it showed a quick clip of him dancing and doing handshakes with the wide receivers. He's building chemistry, and that's really important. He's got confidence. You can just tell the way he moves, the way he walks, the way he talks in the press conference. This kid's oozing confidence and swagger. And I don't think we've had a quarterback like that in a really long time. And I think that's really important to having a good football team. So I like what I see just from the way he carries himself. Running backs, other than Isaiah Mosey, they look teeny tiny, man. Mekhi Nelson, I'm going to stick to what I feel about this kid. He's not big enough to play in the Big Ten. And none of the other running backs really look good. There was a guy, number 21, who I don't even know who it was. He looked pretty good, but Mosey looks like the clear-cut starter. His legs have gotten huge. He's put on weight, put on muscle, you can tell. But none of the other running backs impress me, just the way they look. Then they went to the linebackers. Dylan Rogers, man. I at first thought it was Dexter Foster, who we got in the transfer portal from Oregon State. Dylan Rogers is gigantic. He hasn't played at all, or hasn't played much in his career so far, so I don't know if he's gotten bigger, but when they showed clips of him, he is gigantic. Our biggest linebacker. I mean, humongous. And Dexter Foster, who's number 24, slimmer than I thought. At first, I thought 52 was Dexter Foster. No, that's Dylan Rogers. Dexter Foster, while he's got lean muscle, he looks built well, he's not as compact, not quite as big as I thought. All right, Cortez Mills. They showed a lot of the receiver drills. Cortez Mills is still little, man, way too small. Other than a freshman, he's the smallest receiver, and, he was like sixth, up in drills. I'm worried he's not going to get much playing time. It just seems to me like he's going to fall by the wayside under the depth chart. Every other receiver's much bigger stature than he is, and I know he's quick. I know he's explosive. He was a big-time recruit, but I just don't have a good feeling on him. Last, Jeep Wade. Man, I love this guy's energy during practice. He's getting after it. He's teaching them technique. He's really lively, energetic. I just hope we can see improvements out of this group. But from what we saw, what they showed during practice, he's getting after it. And I think he's doing a good job. But they're getting after it in spring practices. He's the most lively, energetic, get after it coach. So hopefully we see improvements out of them. Now, the defensive line didn't see quite as much. I wish we could have seen more clips from them. They look big. They look like they're putting on weight in the weight room. But it's just a wait and see. So that's all my notes from the spring practice. Thanks everybody for watching. I know it was a shorter video today. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on my Big Ten tournament predictions. Pick the upset, pick Michigan State to win the title over Michigan. Had Nebraska winning their quarterfinal matchup against Purdue and then losing to Michigan State. But let me know on all the others, you guys. I want to see your comments, want to see what your guys' thoughts are. If you filled out brackets, please leave comments and make sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Tune in for the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska plays Friday at 5:30. Thanks so much, and like always, go Big Red, baby.